solve Meta-Unique-ish by Fenners. If you would like to try solving this for yourself, then it'll be the first link in the description. Other than that, let's have a look at the rules. Normal 9x9 Sudoku rules apply. So we're going to place the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, every column, and every box. Meta-Unique-ish. No two instances of the same constraint may share digits. So what does that mean? That means that the digits that I place on this Renban, this pink line, cannot be used on this Renban and cannot be used on this Renban. The digits I place around this quadruple circle can't be used here or here, but I can have repeat digits on this quadruple circle. I could have repeat digits on an arrow. Because of the rules, I can't actually have repeat digits on the Renbans, but this particular meta rule is not preventing that. Okay, quadruples. In an orange circle, the question mark contains the set of all the possibly repeating digits in the surrounding cells. So that's just saying that normally for a quadruple you get digits here which have to appear at least once in these 4 cells. What this is saying is that I'm going to have all of the digits there represented by this question mark, and essentially what this quadruple is doing is preventing those digits going from here and here because of the meta-unique rule. Renban, digits in a purple line form a set of non-repeating consecutive digits in any order. So if I had a 9 here, this would have to be an 8. If I had a 9 here, these would have to be an 8 and a 7 in some order. They don't have to go in order on the line. Arrows, digits on the tail of an arrow sum to the digit in the bulb. So these 3 digits will sum to this value. Kropki, digits separated by a white dot are consecutive. Digits separated by a black dot are in a 1:2 ratio. So these 2 digits will be consecutive. So if this is a 2, this could be a 1 or a 3. And these 2 will be in a 1:2 ratio, so 1 is double the other. So if this is a 2, this could be a 1 or a 4. Okay, that is all the rules. I am going to restart the puzzle to reset the timer, and let's begin. Okay, what do I see? I see that we have 9 Renban digits, 2 plus 3 plus 4. So that is going to be a full set of the digits 1 to 9. Because we can't repeat any digits on a Renban, both because the rules of Renban don't allow it and also because they're all contained within one box. We've got some black Kropki dots. There are only 6 digits that can go on black Kropki dots. I can't put 5, 7 or 9 on those because half of 5, 7 or 9 is not an integer, and twice 5, 7 or 9 is 10 or more, which aren't valid Sudoku digits. So I can see that that digit sees that dot and that dot and that dot. So that must be from 5, 7 or 9, because it can't be from 1, 2, 3, 6, 4 or 8. And I also know that I'm not going to have a 2-4 pair, because if I have a 2-4 pair, I then can't have a 1-2 pair or a 4-8 pair, so the only other pair I could have would be 3-6. So one of these will be 1-2, one will be 3-6, one will be 4-8. But I don't know which is which yet. Okay, I have got 3 white Kropki dots, which is going to use 3 of the 4 even digits, because each white Kropki dot needs an even digit and an odd digit. Okay, arrows then. This is obviously going to be the same digit, so that counts as 1. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we could have 9 different digits on arrows. But if these were all different digits, then at minimum they would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which sum together to make 21. And that means that these two circles would have to sum to 21, which they can't do because by Sudoku, the highest they can be is 8 and 9, which is only 17. So there must be a repeat within this. I can't repeat what's on here onto this arrow because of the meta-unique-ish rule. So the repeat has to be within one arrow. That can't have a repeat, so this must have a repeat. And the only digit that can repeat is this one. So those two are going to be the same. All right. So we now have, this is a minimum of 1, 2, 3. Hang on. Right. This is a minimum of 10. That is a minimum of 3, so we're up to 13. Is there another way to see it? No, that's not right. Right, because of the non-repeat rule across the arrows. So these are 5 different digits. There we go. So that's 15. 16 is the minimum. 17 is the maximum by this. So this is from 7, 8, and 9. And one of these two is going to be a 9. Okay. So can this be as high as 3? Because I suspect not. That would make that 6. Hang on. On a 3-cell arrow, I have to have two. On a 3-cell arrow that's where all the digits see each other, I have to have 2 of the low digits from 1, 2, and 3. Because if I don't, the minimum I could have would be 1, 4, 5, which would be 10. So I've got 2 low digits here. At least. In fact, I can't have 3 low digits, 1, 2, and 3, because then that would be 6, but we can't do 6 on there. So I do have 2 low digits here. So it could be 1, 2, 6, or 1, 2, 5, or 1, 2, 4. So all right. So on the absolute face of it, this is a maximum of 4, these here. Because 4, 4, 1. If I have 5, 5, then that would have to be negative in order to get to 9. So they're from 1, 2, 3, and 4. But I feel strongly that 4 is a challenge. If that were 4, 4, 1 to make 9, right, here we go. If that were 4, 4, 1 to make 9, I could not use 1 or 4 on here. But this would be 7 or 8 and would require a 1. So it's not 4, 4, 1. All right, if that were 3 and 3, if I put a 1 here, then which would make this 7, then I can't put a 1 on here, but the only way to make 9 without a 1 is 2, 3, 4, but I've already used the 3. If I put 3, 3, 2 here, then I can put a 1 on here. 3, 3, 2 would make 8, so this one would have to be the 9. But to make 9, I have 1, 2, 6, but I've already used a 2. I have 2, 3, 4, and I've used the 2 and the 3, and I have 1, 3, 5, and I've used the 3. So I can't have 3, 3, 1, I can't have 3, 3, 2, and obviously I can't have 3, 3, 3. So that is not 3. So this digit, this is either 2 or 4. So if it is 2, then I get 5, 6, or 7 to make 7, 8, 9. If it is 4, I can add 3 or 4 into that collection. Okay. All right. Now this can't be a 7. Because to be 7, this has to be 1, 2, 4, but 1 and 2 are already used in arrows. So that can't be 7. Can't do 1, 2, 6, because I've got 1 of 1 or 2 used here. So 9 could be 2, 3, 4. Or it could be 1, 3, 5. 8 can't be 1, 2, 4 because of the 1 and, sorry, can't be 1, 2, 5 because of the 1 and 2 used there. So it could be 1, 3, 4. So 1, 3, 5, 2, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4. So it uses a 3 regardless. So that's not 3. Okay. And that is anything from 4 up. All right. I am going to mark this cell because I can see that that goes on this Renban somewhere. All right, I guess I'm going to have to tackle these quadruples because yeah. Okay. Now, I can make a uniqueness argument that this quadruple does not have a double repeated digit. What do I mean by that? I'm just going to put in some placeholders. It's by the current rules, this could quite easily be 4499, right? But if that were 4 and 4 and 9 and 9, there would actually be, if I put it as pencil marks, there's nothing in the logic of the puzzle that would tell me which way round the 4 and the 9 go. So I can see that they will not have a double, as it were, 2 pairs of repeated digits. But I can't use uniqueness as an argument because the puzzle might not be unique. But it at least gives me something to look for. And I've just seen it. All right. Let me mark that and that. Supposing this were, I don't want to use green because I've used green elsewhere. Let's try that. Supposing this were 2 pairs of digits. Where would purple go in this box? Well, it's not allowed to go onto the other quadruple, so it must go there. But where would red go in this box? Well, it can't go in any of those. It's not allowed to go on the other quadruple, so it must go there. So that means that that would have to be both red and purple. So this cannot be a 2-2. So there's not two repeated digits. All right, let's have a look at this one then. Can I do the same? If I look down here, red and purple can't go into there. They're not allowed onto the other quadruple, so they must both go there, which they can't. So that is not a double. And what about this? Okay. If this were... Okay, so red and purple can't go there. They're not allowed onto there, so red and purple would both go in here, putting it on the Renban. But if I look across here, they can't go in there. They're now not allowed on the Renban because I have them both on this Renban, so they both have to go there. So this can't be a double quad. Okay, so can I have 4 different digits on here? That's the question. If I have 4 different digits on here, and I can select any one of these, I think, for this argument, I can't then have 4 different digits on here, because if I did, these would have to all be the same digit. Yeah, it doesn't matter which one I chose to have my 4 different digits on to make that argument, because it's nothing to do with the placement. It's just the fact that there are the 3 quadruples. So I can't put 4 and 4. If I put 4 with 3 on, 3 different digits, so 1 repeated digit, then because I'm not allowed to have 2 repeated digits on any of the quadruples, that gives me 7 digits. That leaves me 2 digits left, and we require this to be 2 repeated digits. So I can't have 4 distinct digits on a quadruple. I can't have 2 repeated digits, so I have 3 repeated digits and 1 is unique. 1 is repeated. 3 different digits, of which 1 is repeated. Either there and there, or there and there. Okay, so let's have a look at the interaction here again. Let us suppose that this is my repeated digit. Where does that go in this box? It can't go in any of those. It can't go on the other quadruple, so it must go there. But if this is my repeated digit instead, it can't go on any of those. It can't go on the other quad, so it must go there. So either way, it goes there. So I am going to do that. So this purple is my repeated digit, and it's the same as that one. And I think I can do the same down here. One of those is going to be repeated. Whichever one it is can't go there because of the quadruple, so it must go there. So let's give that pink. We will put pink in one of those 4. And whichever digit is repeated on here can't go there, can't go there. It can't be purple, obviously, by Sudoku anyway. So it must go on this Renban. And it can't be blue. It's different from blue. But if it is on that Renban, then looking in this direction, it can't go on the Renban, and it's that digit. So let's give that orange. We now have orange twice there, and we also have orange on this Renban. Okay. Now what? All right, well, I've just seen something, and yeah, okay, that's quite interesting. Right. Okay, so on these Renbans, we have the full set of digits 1 to 9. That means on one of the segments, we're going to have a 1, which will be a 1, 2, or a 1, 2, 3, or a 1, 2, 3, 4. And on another segment, we're going to have a 9, which is going to be 8, 9, or 7, 8, 9, or 6, 7, 8, 9. And then the third segment is going to have whatever digits remain after the two extreme sets are taken care of. Now, this one cannot be 8, 9, because if it were 8, 9, it would break this cell. So the 9 does not go on here. I don't think it can be 1, 2 either. If this is 1, 2, then this black dot cannot be 1, 2, because that can't be 1 or 2. This black dot cannot be a 1, 2 pair, because this can't be 1 or 2. So that would make this 1 or 2. But what's this digit? Because we've got 1 and 2 on a Renban, so it's not allowed to be 1 or 2. So if this were 1, 2, it would mean that it would, right, that can't be 1 and 2. That means that with this can't be 1 on it, this can't have a 9 on it, so 1 and 9 are in these two Renbans respectively. This is going to be the middle Renban. Okay. So this is either 1, 2, 3, and 4, or it's 6, 7, 8, 9. Now, we already know that blue is not 1, 2, and 3, because we've got either 1 or 2 on here, the other of 1 and 2 on here, along with a 3, because we know we've got a 3 on here and we need a second low digit. So 1, 2, and 3 are ruled out. If I can rule out 4, which would mean that this is 5 or more, that would place a 5 on this Renban, and this could no longer be a 1, 2, 3, 4 Renban. So let's have a look at these arrows again. So if this is 1, 2, 4, 1, 3, 4, making 8, then obviously 4 is used. So that's nice and easy. If this is 2, 3, 4 to make 9, then obviously 4 is used, and then 4 is not on this arrow. So 4 isn't on this arrow if it's 1, 3, 5. But if this is 1, 3, 5, that makes these two a 2 each, which is 4. And we already determined I can't place a 3 here because 3 would definitely be here. I can't place a 5 here because 5 will be here in the 1, 3, 5. So this would have to be a 4. So in fact, 4 is used between these 4 cells. So this can't be a 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's at least a 5. That means that this is has a 5 or higher on it, and therefore must be 6, 7, 8, 9, because it can't be 1, 2, 3, 4. This can't have, so this is going to be the 1 on it here. Yeah, this can't be 1, 2, or 8, 9. This can't be 1, 2, 3, 4 because it has at least a 5 on it. So this is 1, 2, 3. This is 6, 7, 8, 9. And I can remove 7 and 9 from here because they can't go on the black dot. And this must be 4, 5. That makes this 3 or 6. But we know that orange is on this Renban, so that's a 6. So this can't be a 6. And 6 is repeating on this Renban. Right. So one of these two is a 6. One of these two is a 6. That means that neither of these can be a 6, so it can't be 3, 6. Neither of these can be a 6 because one of these two is, so that can't be a 3, 6. This must be a 3, 6 dot, therefore, and that's a 6. And that is a 3. And that's orange. No, that's not what I wanted. There we go. So this is now 7, 8, or 9 because that's the only options left. But it can't be 9 because we know that one of these two is a 9. So that is 7 or 8. Now we have a 7, 8, 9 triple in on 3 different arrows, so they must be different digits. So that can't be a 7. This 5 means that that can't be a 5. So that's even. The sum of these two is clearly even because they are the same digit. So this must be even. So that's an 8. That makes that 7. That makes that 7. This must be 9. This is 2, 3, 4 or 1, 3, 5. This 3 is looking across here. That's not 3, so that is. Those are not 3s, so that is. This is very nice. Okay. We now have 3 in one of these by Sudoku, but it can't be there because that can't be 6. So 3 is there. In this box, 3 can't be there by Sudoku. It can't be there because we already have 3 on a different quadruple. And it can't be there because this isn't the 3, 6 dot. So one of those is 3. And that now means that the 3 in this row can't be any of those because of the 3 being there or there. Can't be any of those because of the 3 being there or there. So it must be one of those 3, and it can't be that one. So we can put a 3 into one of those two. We can put a 3 up here. It can't be there because we already have a 3 on a quadruple circle. So that goes with 2 or 4. So this dot, I have a 6. So I've got 4 even digits that I can place on white dots. 2, 4, 6, and 8. We already have 6 on a white dot, so that's removed. If this is 2, it either has to go with a 1 or a 3. But it can't go with a 1 because that would break this cell. And it can't go with a 3 because we already have a 3 on a white dot. So 2 is not on here. If I have a 4 on here, I can't put it with a 5 because I already have a 5 on a white dot. And I can't put it with a 3 because I already have a 3 on a white dot. So this must be 8 on here. Okay, and then that puts 8 into one of those 3 by Sudoku. Okay. That's either 116 or 224. All right. Okay, that's very nice. This black dot here, if that's a 1, 2 dot, then one of those must be green. We don't know which of 1 or 2 green is yet, but we do know that green is 1 or 2. So if this is a 1, 2 dot, one of them must be green, but they can't be by Sudoku. So that is not the 1, 2 dot. We already have the 3, 6 dot. This must be the 4, 8 dot, and that must be the 8. That must be the 4. That must be a 1, 2 dot. Okay, and that does some work up here. 1, 2, 4, 5, the remaining digits. In fact, that 1, 2 pair means that those can't be 1, 2s, therefore 5. So that's 1, 2. Okay. These 4s are placing 4 into one of these 3. Now, if this were a 4, then that would have to be 5, and that would place 4 there. But then we would have 4 on 2 different quadruple circles. So that one can't be a 4. And those 2 4s means that 4 can't be there at all. So this has a 4 on it, but we know that purple is on here and can't be 4. So that's a 5. That makes that 4. So that's not 4, and that is. So we now have 5 in those. One of those 2 is 5, one of those 2 is a 5. We can look at this row. That is 6, 8, 9. And that one's not a 6. Right, 4 is not the repeat digit on here, because if that's 4, then that would be 4 if it were the repeat, which would clash with that 4. This digit not being a 4 can't be the repeat because it's not going to be a 4. So that means that 3 is the repeat digit. I can remove that color and make those pink. So that's a 3 there. That means that's not 3, and that is. Wrong color, 3. Okay. More progress. Can I do more with 4s? 4 is in one of those 3 because it can't go on this quadruple. No, I don't see how that helps yet. Okay, let's give this, yeah, why not, light green and dark green. So one of those is light green. That can't be a 1 or a 2. That can't be a 1 or a 2 because I've got both of them in the box. So where does the other of 1 or 2 go in this row? Must go here. But I don't know which color it is. I don't know whether it's dark green or light green. But these two digits now must be 7 and 5. And no, not 7 and 5, 7 and 8. Okay. So 1 and 2 are in those 3 cells. Between them, all right, 5, there we go. I think that's helpful. 5 in this box, where does it go? We know that 5 is on this quadruple circle, so it can't go here. So 5 is in one of those 2. So this is not a 5. And we know that that's 9. So this is either 2, 3, 4 or 1, 1, 3, 5. Sorry, right, it was 2, 3, 4 or 1, 3, 5, but now it can't be 1, 3, 5. So that is now a 2, 4 pair. That means that this is a 2. Those are 1s. That's 2. That makes that 6. That's not 6, and that is. Okay. That's not a 1. One does not go on this quadruple, so 1 must go on this quadruple. And it can't go in either of those because of that 1-2 pair, so this must be a 1-6 pair. And that is a 2. That makes that 1 and that 2. So those can't be 8 because of that 8. That makes that an 8. That's a 5-7 pair. That makes this digit up here a 4. Nope. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Makes it a 6. That's much more likely. By being correct, of course. Okay. Eight is now not on this quadruple because of this 8 and this 8. 8 is not on this quadruple because of this 8, but we must have an 8 on a quadruple because we know we have the 9 digits. So 8 can't go there, so 8 must go there. That makes that 6. That's 1. That's 6. Let's make those all orange. That gives me a 6 in one of those two and a 6 in one of those two. All right. So, ones. There's a 1 in one of those two. 1 can't go there. So there is a 1 in one of those two. That makes that a 2 and that a 1. That puts 2 in one of those three. And if it's there, then that prevents that from being a 2. All right, what's this digit? It can't be 1. It could be a 2. It can't be a 3. It can't be 4. It can't be 5 because we have 5 on a quadruple. It can't be 6 because we have 6 on a quadruple. It can't be 7. It can't be 8. It could be 9. That is 2 or 9. Okay. So 7. 7 needs to go on a quadruple. Those are not 7. That's a 6-7 pair. That means that 7 is not there. This is the only quadruple left that can put a 7 on it, so that's a 5-7. This now is 5-9, which I don't know the order of, but that means that 5 and 9 do not go there. 5 and 9 go there. That makes that a 2, because it can't be a 9 anymore. And 2 has to go into one of those two, so that's now a 2-3 pair. And the only place for 4 in the row is there. And that makes this makes that an 8. So that is not an 8. That gives me a 5, 7, 9 triple in the row. So that's 1, 4. This 8 looks across, making that 7. That is not 7. That is not 7. So that is 5 or 9 for the box. These are 5, 9, and 4. That's not a 4. So that's a 4, making that 1 and that 4. And that is 5 or 9, but the 5 pointing down here makes it a 9. That makes that 5. That's 9. That is now a 7, 8 pair. And we need 2, 3, and 5. Those can't be 3 by Sudoku, so that's 3. And that is a 2, 5 pair. And now we have one of those is 2, one of those is 2. So where is 2 in this column? It can't be, well, we can even see that it's an I-wing, as some would call it. That's a 2. That 7, 8 pair is looking across at this 6 and this 7, which makes that a 6. And that not. These are not 2s because of this. This one is looking across. That's a 1. That 2, 5 is looking across. That's 4. That's 2. These 2 digits are 4 and 9. So that's 4, that's 9, that's now an 8. This must be 5, which resolves my 5, 9 in this box, which resolves my 7 and 5 here. That 9 is looking up, so that's 7, that's 9, that's 8. That gives me 5 and 9 and 5 and 7. Okay, these 2 digits are 3 and 9. And then these 2 are 1 and 7. Okay. What am I missing? This one is looking down. That's a 7. That's a 1. That's going to resolve everything, I think. 7 and 8. 9 and 8. 9 and 3. 2 and 3. I'm just going to remove all of the color because it's done its job. And 5 and 2. That is a fantastic puzzle. That's absolutely beautiful. It's perhaps a little tougher than I would normally attempt, but I'd had some good recommendations for it. But the way the different elements interact with each other, forcing 9 digits onto the quadruple circles with 1 repeat on each. Beautiful, beautiful puzzle. Fenners, thank you so much for creating it. Well, if you liked this solve, then please hit the like button. You can subscribe to see more, and I would love to hear your comments. I'm looking forward to next time. Be seeing you.